Aha, Stephen English said no sound. Can you hear me now? Thank you. Thanks, Stephen. Hopefully everybody can hear me now. All right, so I'll take it from the top since apparently I was talking to myself. Hello to everybody. Hope you guys had a good weekend. Hello to Mono SK, a new member. So thanks for joining. Welcome. His Honor, Solid Round Gaming, Colton Organic, Steven, Edmund. Hello, everybody. Steve Eckford. If I missed you, if I missed anybody, hello to everyone. Today was interesting, so we'll dig into it. Good. It sounds like you can hear me now. And again, George, well, I don't know if you guys heard this part. George will be joining us. He should be here any minute. So right now it should just be me and my voice. And we'll get George. We'll get George in a minute. Darren, hello. Gorilla, hello. Has Riot run out of steam? I don't think yet. Riot ran out ahead a lot, so definitely we can talk about that one. Cleanspark swimming north again. Bitcoin going backwards. I'm just keeping my eye out for George so that I add him when he gets here. Let's see. Edmund, Hut is a total mess. I sold out a long time ago and just sold June 1st puts to make 493. I'll hold the position for another 3 months or buy back if cheaper. So, yeah, Hut is quiet. They are quiet, and I just scrolled through all of the people who are going to be either speaking or on panels at the Bitcoin convention, and at the moment, I did not see anybody from Hut. So I don't know if that is because they really can't talk during this period of time while they have this merger pending. So, you know, that might be the reason. I don't know, but I did notice, I think pretty much all the other large Bitcoin miners will be there on one panel or another or as a speaker. So, and maybe they'll join up in the last second. You know, it's still a month away, so we'll see. But it could be they're not allowed to talk, but I know they're very quiet, and I don't think people are feeling great about them, but their stock is doing okay. It didn't hold $2 today. It fell back below again. It was down 7%, but it was mostly a down day. Congratulations to everybody in Cleanspark. That is, let's go to just quickly to the Cleanspark, because that was Cleanspark, as you guys, for those of you who've been here a long time, you know, Cleanspark's been lagging behind in 2023. All the other Bitcoin miners, virtually all the other, and we'll go to that chart, have had huge run-ups, and Cleanspark was lagging behind as of a week ago Friday, not this last Friday. They were only up 20% on the year. Most of the Bitcoin miners are up between 100% and 400%. So, if we look at Cleanspark, they did bottom out, and then in the last 6 days, so to the top, they were up 90%. They pulled back a little bit from their high today, but they're still up over 80% in the last 6 trading days. And some of those days, so even though this is a red candle, it's actually a green day. You can see that it gapped open to the upside. It just gapped open so high that it couldn't hold that, and it was down. So this, although this candle is red, this was a big jump on Friday. So this is 6 consecutive days of green days for Cleanspark, and 2 of those days, particularly I think this day here, all the other miners had a really bad day, and Cleanspark was just all alone in the red. So it's finally catching up. So this is one of those, we always talk about just being patient and waiting for it, and this is one of those instances where if you waited, you're getting your run. I don't think it's over. We'll see. We got to figure out what everybody thinks Bitcoin's going to do next, because obviously that will impact the market today was pretty boring. Let me go see where the equity markets, that is. So we did rally into the close today. Everything was in the red by, 2 hours prior to close. The S&P was down, the Dow was down, the Nasdaq was down. The Russell was green all day, and then but everything did surge for the last bit of the day. Green across the board, but super small moves. I mean, a third, 0.33, 0.3, 0.28, and then the Russell, which has got a mind of its own, is up 1.2. But crude is down to $81, and that's good. And gold did hold $2,000, and silver held $25. However, where are we? The dollar has not been heading in the right direction the last couple of days. So we've been talking about this chart. This was a long-term line of resistance, a 20-year line of resistance, this green line. We did break through this to the upside and ran up quite a bit, so the dollar was too strong, really. That hurts the stock market. It hurts Bitcoin. It hurts cryptocurrencies. It hurts almost everything. It's under this line. We had a nice run when it got under this line in January. I was hoping we could do the same thing here. We're still under the line, but this is 2 green days in a row. So, let's not get back over this line, because to me that would be bearish. Hopefully you guys can hear me. I'm still getting some people saying they can't hear me, or I'm really behind in the chat. Let's see. Yes, CleanSpark was a very pleasant surprise today, finally. That was from Organic Autos. His Honor, good day all. Pleased to announce I'm already green on my initial Wolf 823 $2.50 call position. Bought at the open today. All right. Jeff. Hello, Jeff. Minor Doc. Raymond. Samuel. Jeff said Sparky. CleanSpark's doing its thing. All right, we have a visitor. Give me just a minute and I'll switch over.
It's my good side.
George, you are live.
It's my good side. I thought you said 4:30.
4:15, 4:30.
It's all the same. Hey guys. I had an audit, workers comp audit, I guess it was.
Oh, those are fun.
And I was just finishing up, and I figured I was okay until 4:30. So, oh well, let's see.
Well, no problem. We're just getting going. We're just getting rolling here. And I have not yet hit we have 30 likes already, but I have not hit the smash the like button.
I think somebody must have said Bitcoin is never going below 30,000 again.
Yeah, because it did.
Gold, 1995.
Did it drop below in the last few minutes? Because it was
1995.
Oh, boy.
That was a good year.
Yeah, not bad. Not a bad year.
2503. Yes, how many people are ripping on me for XRP? I don't even want to look.
Why is XRP?
Oh, it hurts. Not XRP. What's that other?
Oh, CleanSpark.
Something Dirty Spark.
Yes, we had our CleanSpark celebration without you. Minor Doc said, "Go CleanSpark." Steve Eckford, "Go CleanSpark, go." Samuel said, "Hello, hello to you."
What is going up? I have a yoga challenge from the bunny girl right next to you guys.
What does that mean?
I don't know.
A yoga challenge?
I know.
I
Samuel,
would not accept that challenge.
You guys need to say thank you, George, for selling CleanSpark.
Wayne said, "Do you think CleanSpark will carry on running?" So I do think so, Wayne, and I do think that is somewhat contingent. If Bitcoin does go retest some lower numbers, you know, CleanSpark has been green on some red days. It's got a streak going right now. So, you know, that's not going to hold on forever. So if Bitcoin does do a serious pullback down below this 28.8 line, then, you know, maybe they can't hold on. But for now, it seems like the news cycle has caught up with CleanSpark. The shorts are getting out. And it's still nowhere near where I think it should be right now. So
I just thought of that. What happened to that guy? His name used to be Not Financial Advice. I looked that guy up. He used to be honest nonstop. Do you remember his name was Not Financial Advice?
yes. Yeah, we haven't seen him in a while.
Colton, how old are you? Colton says he came out to his parents today. I came out to my parents too. I told them I was happy. That's what gay means. You know that, right? You're welcome. I sold. I know. I was actually thinking of.
Again?
I don't even want to tell you the stuff that goes through this pea brain of mine.
Samuel said, CleanSpark's on fire. At last, it was not on fire, but yes, it's now doing its thing.
Tom, I'm gonna like the stream.
Thank you.
Okay, I'm sorry.
We have 40 likes, so yes, anybody who can reach the like button, if you could please smash the like button. It helps the stream a lot in real time, and we want to get to our 100 likes. We've been doing very well on that. So thank you, everybody. Thanks to all the members for being here. Thanks to all the subscribers, and thanks for everybody who's smashed the like button and who's about to smash the like button.
You know what's crazy? Just to see that little bit, how my portfolio go up. Just that little bit of any that I bought. It just.
Oh yeah.
I'm up another $1,000. So.
Any at the very, 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 very end of the day. I'm gonna go to any chart. I mean, it didn't. This is not how I remember today being for any. This was the open. So at the open, any was up, but it was no. This is false.
What did your poll come back at?
Oh, the final poll numbers. So we did a poll for anybody who saw. I did a community post on, and maybe we can duplicate the poll here and compare results. Bitcoin, what's the next stop for Bitcoin? 25,000 or 35,000? So that's the, you know, we're still plus or minus 30,000. We have definitely dipped below. 30 was holding very strong for a while. We've dipped below, so now are we going down to 25 or are we still tracking to get to 35? That was the poll, and I got to go to the channel, I think, to look at the results. I guess. How do I look at the results?
I don't know.
I might not know how to use this thing necessarily.
So I'm looking at, we're over $3,200 in the portfolio for our 10,000K challenge. I have a question. Did you just cost average into Bitfarms? Is that what you did?
Recently?
Yeah, you bought some at the end of March. You bought another 200 shares.
Yes, we had a little money on the sidelines, and so I put it in. I dollar cost averaged into Bitfarms. So, and that was when it was under its dollar. So that's another one we have to look at. I think this was day 5 for Bitfarms over $1. So we need 10 days in a row to get off of Santa's naughty list. So we're
it's looking healthy in our 10K challenge.
Yeah,
I can see that getting back to at least 6 or 7 this year.
Yeah, I'm expecting even more than that, but we will see. It definitely depends. It's a very Bitcoin heavy, and I'd like to get out of some of the curiosity streams was just. I think I hate to do this, but I think I'm going to give up on it. I think the streaming narrative has changed drastically over the last 10 months. And that has gotten a lot more competitive and a lot less
Hang on, I'll be right back.
You got it. So anyway, any was green most of the day. It did go red at the end of the day. I'm not sure what's going on this chart. This is an absolute mess. But it ended up down 2%. That's the end of the story. So what else was up for the day? There wasn't much. What'd you do now? What'd you do, Tom? I want to go to the 15-minute. All right, sorry. There we are. We're caught up. So let's look at. This was a red day, but for those of you who were watching all day, it was a lot. These were all down a lot more earlier in the morning. So the Bitcoin miners, even though most of them ended up in the red, they did rally quite a bit. Bitfarms was down to like $1.15 or something, or $1.14. Let's see. Let's take a closer look at some of these. So, yeah, the low today was at $1.09. So, Bitfarms was trading down to $1.09. And again, remember, this is, so here's a dollar. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Bitfarms is now at 5 days. This is the third time it's had a 5-day run above $1. The last 2 times it failed and went back below $1. So we're halfway there. Can we get there? And that is my first poll. All right, so this is just a straight up yes or no. So the poll is, will Bitfarms get 10 days in a row over $1? And then just a note, we're currently at 5 days in a row. So we're halfway there, but we've been there twice before, only to have it go back under $1. So is this the time? Because I feel strongly, not financial advice, I think Bitfarms is going to have a breakout to $1.50. That's what it looks like to me. But for as long as we're this close, they're still able to fight over this $1 mark. And again, it got down to $1.09 today. So, that's still pretty close to $1. Jeff gingerly tapped the like button. Well, thank you, because they all count just exactly the same, whether you smash it or tap it. Oh, Organic Auto checked the poll for me. Thank you very much. 62%. So I ran a poll today in the community chat. 62% said up to 35K. And 38% said the next move for Bitcoin is down to 25K. Total of only 130 votes in that community. So that was I only put it out a few hours ago, but still, that's not that many votes. 62% to 38%. So that's almost, that's pretty close to 60-40. That's not convincingly bullish. Still a little bit bullish overall, but so we'll try that one again here and see how our results match compared to that.
Should I tell you what I'm going to say about Bitcoin? I even can't believe I'm going to say it.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think next month we could be looking very healthy for Bitcoin.
How healthy are we going to look?
Thinking it might get to the mid 40s.
Nice.
But don't celebrate yet, guys. We're not out of the woods.
You think we're even not out of the woods after that?
Nope.
Duckman, Bitcoin's next stop is 40K.
Yeah, I
All
would
right.
say it's like 42, 43.
That would be nice. And somebody earlier asked, sorry, I'll try and scroll back and find it, but they asked, are you taking profits or what's your profit strategy? So for me, and everybody has the key is you have to, the answer to that question is you need to have a profit taking strategy. So, and it'll be different for everybody, and it's got to be whatever you're comfortable with. For me, what I do is I hold, I'm a buy and hold, so for the most part, I hold this stock and I plan on holding it for years. But I do, like, I was buying calls for Bitfarms. And so now, as Bitfarms has run up a bunch, I'm starting to sell them. And hopefully, if it can take that next leg up, I will get rid of all of my Bitfarms calls just in time to make some money on that. And that's my version of profit taking. And then I'll probably start, if Bitfarms gets to $1.50, I may sell calls at that point. So it just depends on where things are at. But I try to utilize calls in the short term, or options, puts or calls, depending, in the short term to try to, take advantage of some of these swings that go on. But for the long term, I just keep dollar cost averaging into the things I have high conviction in. There are a few plays that I'm done dollar cost averaging into because my position is, in my opinion, full or past what I originally thought would have been full. And the three for me that really ended up being my biggest Bitcoin mining positions are Bitfarms, Riot, and CleanSpark. Not necessarily
Because
in
Todd,
that order.
back then, I didn't think that it was going to 40. Here's what I thought was going to happen. I thought we were going to get another little pullback before we did this. But I still expect a big pullback this year.
So you think this run just keeps going, but
Yep.
but it will
We're going to
end.
have a little consolidation.
Colton said, too late to jump into CleanSpark. I mean, I think the run will continue for CleanSpark. Having said that, I mean, in the last 6 days, we just looked, it's up 80% in the last 6 days. So, it's worth considering. Do I want to wait a few days and see if there's a better entry point? Or if you're just, if that's one of your stocks and you just dollar cost average in, then you just buy when you buy. But
Don't worry. They will dump it. They're going to dump. They're up 100% for the year now. CleanSpark.
and
See, that was my problem. They're going to dump the snot out of it. Watch.
Well, does it end at 100? Because they're
No.
up 100% and they're still lagging behind almost all of their peers.
Marathon's up 219%. Bitfarms is up 177. Wow. Riot's up 270.
This is what I'm saying. Like, the last 6 days has been a spectacular run for CleanSpark, but for me, in my opinion, and you guys know I've been kind of pounding the table on this one all year. It's long overdue.
Wolf is up 116. That's
Yep.
something to look at.
Wolf and they were
Wow.
lagging behind. CleanSpark and Wolf 6 weeks ago, those two were the worst two performing Bitcoin miners, and they've now both had a very nice run to the upside. Cypher this year is off the charts.
365%.
Cypher?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, they're on
Hive.
fire.
Hive's 158. Any is only 57%.
Yeah, Any is still lagging, but Any, other than today, it pulled back 2%. Any has been on a pretty nice run lately, but it just started in the middle of last week. So Any, to me, is still the one that's the most oversold. And I do think,
But
we'll see when the stock takes off, but I think from an operational standpoint, it's going to be that May operational update that will come out, in the first couple of weeks of June, that I think is going to be the real catalyst to get them to the next level. So I don't know if
really?
people will, maybe they'll see that coming and the run starts before that.
then we got Stronghold at 88% for the year. So Stronghold and Annie.
Yeah, and I think
Any.
Stronghold, although Stronghold just, again, they did just have a big run up. but they're still, like you said, for the year, they're still lagging their peers, and I like that company a lot. So,
And Mawson's only 125.
yes. A lot of those are all the small caps. Well, nano caps, but small in comparison to the other Bitcoin miners. Riot right now is the largest market cap, and it's at like maybe 2.2 billion or something to that effect. And Marathon's close behind. Cypher is a distant third, but they're probably up around $600 or $700 million, which is staggering. That's really still double most of the rest of even the larger Bitcoin miners.
668 million for Cypress and 2.15 for Riot billion.
So, yeah, that's number 1 and number 3. Marathon's in the middle at number 2. Marathon and Riot are in a league of their own. Whether you love them or hate them, just from a market
How many
cap.
coins does Riot do a month?
Well, it varies. They did 690, I believe, last month. And, they're increasing their exahash. They do also sell money back to the grid now that things going on in Texas where that program may change for them. So they may end up putting more of their time into mining because they're going to be banned from giving money back to the grid potentially. Or not banned, but severely limited.
Do you think Cypher should be higher than CleanSpark?
Cypher is much higher than CleanSpark, and I think that's upside down. Cypher has had the run of all runs. It was underpriced. Now, they've had excellent performance, and I do think they're a great company. But, that's the one. If there's one that I would say has gotten overheated, it's Cypher. And I think that ultimately they'll end up much bigger than they are today, but they've gotten out ahead of themselves versus their peers. For instance, a CleanSpark or a Bitfarms or even a TerraWolf, they're not dramatically different than those companies. If anything, CleanSpark mines significantly more Bitcoin than they do, and they're half the price from a market cap standpoint.
Interesting.
Sanity's Eclipse says Mawson, or stock ticker MIGI, M-I-G-I, will outperform because very few investors even know about their 300% expansion in Bitcoin production, probably by July. And the public float is low, so that's one worth looking at. Adding to your watch list.
Let me forward that. This is it's really good about streaming is because I get a lot of work done. As you start talking, I get to do my work that I like going through your emails and stupid stuff.
Well, I'm glad you're able to maintain your productivity on our streams. We're at 68 likes. We're doing great. Thank you, everybody. If you haven't smashed the like button, it's much appreciated. If you would, helps the stream big time.
Why do you stream? So I can be more efficient at my job.
That's you're the opposite. Like most people are at work, not doing work. You're at one work doing the other work. Bernoulli, if I'm pronouncing that wrong, I had it right. So if I'm doing it wrong, let me know. It's funny how everyone freaks out in a bull market when Bitcoin pulls back 5%, even though 30% pullbacks are normal. Yeah. And it's because it's nerve-wracking, especially after this long bear market. We have been now conditioned to just believe like every one of these runs is going to end in pain and suffering. So there's no doubt and pullbacks are healthy, and we're long overdue. This run, this is just from March 10th. So we had a nice pullback today. Prior to today, we were up, last week, close to 60% just since March. We got over 100. This candle, these are daily candles. This daily candle wicked this yellow line at 30,920, that is a 100% increase in the price of Bitcoin since November 21st, 2022. So that's 3.5 months. Bitcoin pulled a double. So that's huge. Now, yes, we've pulled a little bit back off of those highs. So, oh, excellent. Thank you. I'm still saying it correctly. Thank you for letting me know. I'm just not good at pronouncing names, so I'm always self-conscious about it.
That's why I'm here.
That's right.
That's why I'm here. Sorry.
Duckman's saying Stronghold Digital cheap buy question mark. I mean, I like Stronghold. They were a much cheaper buy. You know, I'm going to go to that one.
I cannot. I might have to get back on the Cleanspark. I agree. It should make the run to $6. That was my whole conversation the day that I sold. The whole reason I was so mad was that day I felt it should have popped. And that, you know what I mean? And that was the reason I was getting so frustrated with it.
You were one day off.
One day, I was way there, yeah.
And it's hard to call it to the day. So my answer on Stronghold is, even though I do think it's still, I like Stronghold. I think they have a good future. They have massively reorganized their company because, you know, the crypto winter destroyed their formula. So they had to make a lot of changes, but they made all those changes. So I like them. My only problem with them is you can see here in the last 6 days, they're up 50-something%. So I'm always hesitant to start adding to a position at that time. Now, if you're just someone who's consistently dollar cost averaging in, right, you don't look at what it is. It doesn't matter. You just, you know, you do your dollar cost average. But for me, I try to dollar cost average a little more opportunistically, and, you know, it looks like it's potentially on the verge of a breakout here. And it has a long way to run up. So to get to where, so that my green line is, if you're familiar with the channel, you know that I have a green line on each one of these Bitcoin miners. In August of 2022, Bitcoin got up to $25,000. So to me, that was a benchmark because Bitcoin in February of 2023 got up to $25,000. And in the middle, it never touched that. And now in late March and April, you know, we're more in the $30,000 range. So to me, when I look at Stronghold, they have to go up another 281% to get back to where they were last August. Now, you do have to be careful because with a company like this one, for instance, Stronghold totally changed their entire business model in the middle. So this is not as fair of a comparison. It's not as much apples to apples as some of the other ones are. Some of the other ones are still basically under the same business model. They've gotten bigger. They've done some dilution to do so, you know, so one offsets the other. So to me, they should, a lot of these should be at or past this green line. But it is only right now, I believe Riot is the only company that has passed its August of 2022 high out of all the Bitcoin miners. Let's see. Cypher candle wicked above it. Let's see if it's... Oh, so see, it got... Oh, it did close today. So 267, and it closed at 269. So now Cypher, so Riot and Cypher. But Riot, you're going to see, is blown way past it. And now Cypher is fighting with it to get above. It had one day open and close above. So those are the only two. Most of the rest need like anywhere from 75 to 150% increase just to get back to where they were. So, you know, you got to judge everything else that's happened, but
Harrison, I think we'll see $3 Cleanspark again. I'm praying you're right, buddy. I think we will too. You know why? Because those bastards need to raise all that money. Sorry, guys. Love ya.
This feels like FUD. Just checking in on the on the Bitcoin 15-minute. So we're still hanging around. I mean, we're down. This orange line is where...
Would you have to pee on it?
Huh?
Oh,
what?
Becky did a COVID test. Because I won't let her be around. When she goes out and she comes back, I make her take a COVID test before she walks in the house. I said, "You're taking a COVID test because I ain't getting sick." Sorry,
Brother, if you're in the same house with your wife and she's got COVID, I got bad news for you. You're getting COVID.
That's why I won't let her in the house without the report. Sorry.
That's very strict. What was I saying? Oh.
I don't even.
Who knows? This, what should be an orange line at 30,344. That's where Bitcoin was when the U.S. equity markets closed on Friday. So then we had the weekend. So we're down from there, so from where we were then till now, Bitcoin is down, call it 3%. So for the miners to be down the way they are today is not, this is a pretty solid performance by the miners. Because typically they're a leverage, and then we've seen they don't move in tandem day to day. One has a run that, Bitcoin has a run, then the miners catch up, or vice versa. So, but over time, that does tend, they have been leveraged play on Bitcoin in both directions over the last several years. That doesn't mean that's a guarantee that they will remain that way, but so for Bitcoin to be down 3% and Riot to be down 4%, Marathon to be down 4%, I mean, those are strong performances. CleanSpark, obviously, green. Digital, BT, they were green. They got green in the middle of the day, and they stayed there the rest of the day. Other than that, everything was at or near zero or below zero, but nothing catastrophic. There were no... Core Scientific was down 12%. Nothing else in the double digits. So this was actually really, I think this was a strong day for the Bitcoin miners. For Bitcoin, I think this is a healthy pullback. I saw somebody earlier saying a 30% pullback. I'm not looking for a 30% pullback. My lines that I'm hoping to hold were coming in on the first one. So we're only 2% away from this 28.8 line, which is an extremely, for me, in my opinion, that is a very strong line of support/resistance. So if we could bounce off of this and confirm this as support now, then I think that would be a big bullish signal to run up. However, we have never gone back and retested this line at 25,200. And that was a very strong line. And we blew through it and never went back and retested it. So, I would not be shocked. That'd be a 14% down from here. So, I'm not rooting for that, but I do think that's on the table. I think a pullback further than that, and then you can start talking about, lower and lower and lower numbers. If 25.2 doesn't hold, then I don't know where the bottom is. But I do think that will hold. I don't even think we will retest 25.2 in my personal opinion, although it wouldn't surprise me. George now thinks we're not going to even bother doing any of this. First, we're going to go up. So
No. I think it's going to consolidate that back to the maybe 27, 26. Not financial advice. And then I think maybe we're going to have a nice little run.
Then we run up to 40,
40s.
42 maybe. Well, that would be good.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel pretty confident, but I also feel that we're getting ready for an alt season. I mean, I'm ready for that. You already started to see a little bit of it.
And we're going to start. We're going to be in crypto a little more, and we're a little behind. I've had some stuff to take care of that's consumed some of my time over the last little bit, but I finished up with all that this weekend, so we're going to start delving into cryptocurrency. I will tell you, George spends more time in cryptocurrency than I do. So
I live crypto now. That's my life.
George,
talking to people about new projects and ideas and concepts. But here's my goal. You guys are going to laugh. I hope what's his name from State Farm isn't on. Alex from State Farm. Hope he's not on.
He is not. For the record, he is not from State Farm.
That's how I remember him, though. I am going. I want a coin to 1000x that I invest in. That's my goal. It
You
can
want
be
to
done.
you want to 1000x your investment.
Yes.
That is a lofty goal.
Just
It
so you
can
know,
be done, and it has been done, and
that's 10
especially
million. So I'm going to invest. I shouldn't tell you guys all these. You think I'm an idiot. I'm going to pick 10 coins to 1000x. And probabilities. So they're all probabilities, right?
yeah.
Alt
I
season
mean,
won't come until 2025. We might get a small one over the summer. Yeah, I'm just thinking it's a small one, Minor Doc. But I feel that we're going up to another couple hundred billion in crypto, by the way.
we got another couple hundred billion to run to the upside as far as the crypto overall market cap.
Yes. And some of the projects that I've gotten, some of the projects I'm thinking of doing, 1000x, definitely. I don't see why not.
So according to CoinGecko, and there's 3 or 4 different places, they say we're about $1.3 trillion in
I'm
total
still.
market cap.
I was in XRP when you could mine it. Did you guys know that you could mine XRP in the beginning?
You could not mine XRP. You could never mine XRP. That is incorrect. I'm sorry, that is incorrect, sir.
Andrew, 150x is my bet. That's awesome, though. That's one. See, I am definitely looking at altcoins.
These happen.
I'm having a little strategy. I'm going to take a little bit of money and, let it ride. If I lose it all, I lose it all,
This is the
Just don't
high
tell
risk
my wife.
part of your portfolio. So for everybody listening, I'll tell you what you already know. This is the high risk part of your portfolio. The Bitcoin miners, the altcoins, those are high risk, and everybody, decides for themselves what portion of my portfolio am I willing to, take a risk on to get.
I don't think Bitcoin's high risk anymore, do you?
I think if you just invest in Bitcoin, that's not. I think we saw the first sign of that ever when people got nervous about the banks and Bitcoin ran up. So there was some portion of the flight to safety was to Bitcoin, even though all in all, in general, it has been massively associated as a risk-on trade. In this instance, we just experienced some people viewing it as a store of value and a flight to safety. So that's a switch, and I think there's plenty of more of that to come.
No, now, Michael, I'm going to have so I'm taking, and I shouldn't, I don't know, should I tell everybody this? I guess I should. I'm going to move almost every single penny that I have out of the US dollar. Sorry, that's what I'm doing. Every single penny. And I'm actually thinking about selling a lot of my assets to do that even more. Now my wife's going to start hitting me soon, but you know what I mean? Here she goes. But I'm thinking about, because it's what's the sense of having a home if you could take and double or triple that money that you have inside your home that is just sitting there, that is U.S. cash dollars, right? Your home is one step removed for you to have U.S. cash dollars. Yes, I own Bitcoin.
Are you suggesting people sell their homes? Is this what's happening? I mean, not financial advice. I'm just asking, is that the path you're going down?
No, I'm not. My path is for me, right? And it's not my primary home, right? So, my primary home, obviously I'm not selling. Right. But I've been lucky enough to acquire a couple other ones.
If you have investment homes, and it depends on the market. So, I'm sure George isn't the only one dabbling in real estate. And over time, I have to tell everybody, I mean, the way to make the most money in the history of the United States anyway, it is real estate. And again, you've got to be patient and time it right, because you can also get, it can also go the other way if you overextend yourself and you have to sell in a bear housing market. It can be brutal. But if you invest wisely, an awful lot of wealth is built on real estate. So, and the market cap for that is so many multiples of what the entire cryptocurrency world is. Crypto will never catch up to real estate. Nothing will.
Yeah, and I think what's funny is because like Tom and I were talking, and you take a 2 month, a 1 month, a 6 month, a 2 year, a 5 year look at your investments, right, and where you want them to be, and that's what Tom and I did earlier today, is we went through and we started to say, okay, what's the opportunity here? What's the opportunity there? Where's the opportunities? Because yeah, there could be a little shakeup here in the United States for a little bit, but that doesn't mean there's not opportunities out there. And our job right now, as part of CUDAB, is to find those opportunities and get them out there so you guys can get into them too.
Right,
And
and that's
that's all. I mean, we're just telling you what we're doing, and if you guys want to do it, great. If you don't, that's great too. But what has helped us out is the members, and because they have like some of the best ideas I've ever I never would have thought of. Like I never would have thought of grocery stores ever in a million years.
the membership has drastically increased our knowledge base because while everybody's still making their own decisions, we have a lot of very high quality investors in
Yes.
our in the membership, and it's been going well, and we get a lot of good. It's not financial advice, but we're all sharing ideas, and a lot of people have expertise in industries that I know nothing about. So if they can clue me onto something and I can do my own due diligence and make some money in it, that's what we're finding. So, and that's what George is talking about. We got to look. Everybody's got to look and for the opportunities, because there are
Right.
always opportunities, even in bad times.
Well, and what's really funny is I think I even said this on the stream because we were picking on EVs there for a minute, and I said, yeah, but we don't know what the United States is going to do on EVs.
Well,
Sell REIT for Bitcoin, absolutely.
I just
I think commercial REITs are going to get destroyed here.
put a
Like,
link in the description if you're
destroyed.
interested in joining the membership. It's $5 a month. We do have our own private Discord for members that I'm active in every day, and we do a members-only live stream every Tuesday. So tomorrow there will be a members-only live stream, and we do a bunch of extra video deep dives that the members get to pick for me to do a deep dive on. So Jeff, who's a member, saying supermarkets for the win. So that was our member 2022 suggestion of the year for sure. And Jeff was pounding the table all year on that one. So if you didn't listen to him, it's not because he wasn't talking about it.
Oh, brother. This debt like here's another thing, like Kevin McCarthy and this debt ceiling thing. I don't know what's going to happen there. They're still acting like they're not going to cave in, and he just went in front of Wall Street today and said that. I would not know his name if it wasn't on my screen right now, by the way.
Well,
this is going to be interesting.
That's creating that, right. But are they really going to? What happens every time at the end?
Oh yeah, they can. No, but the problem is it can look at for 2 or 3 weeks or maybe a month, we could totally get destroyed in the market.
Well, that's true. We can have these small knee-jerk reactions to short-term events, right? Even if they are, follow through on their bluff and shut things down for a week, that could be a big buying opportunity one way or the other. So I'm going to end this first poll. We did this for a half an hour. Will Bitfarms get 10 days in a row over $1 and get back into compliance with the NASDAQ? They're currently at 5 days. 71% said yes, and 29% said no with 86 votes. So thanks for participating.
Just so you know, I'm a knower. I said no.
You think they're not? You think they're going to get chopped again? This is the third time, George.
How many days is it now?
This was day 5, so this is now the third time they've made it to at least day 5.
So we got to make it to Monday of next week. Oh, I should have thought. I thought we were only like day 3 or 4. I missed a couple days in there.
They have to close every day this week and Monday of next week over $1, and then that presses the reset button, and And I do think that's going to be a catalyst to get back to the $1.50, which is the bare minimum number, in my opinion, that stock belongs at. So that's my own personal investment thesis on Bitfarms.
I know you've been busy and all that, and I tried to look to find out like how much BlackRock is in a company and when they bought and stuff like that.
Right.
Just FYI, if you can do that someday, maybe just put it in the Discord or something.
For the Bitcoin miners or for...
Yeah, just for whatever, anything really.
Make that.
Friday afternoon, Bitfarms fails. Yep. I mean, it's too close to me. You see, if it gets below 110, I gotta think that the pressure is gonna be there to push it down. Bitfarms below $1.
It got to $1.09 today. So,
Yeah,
at those numbers, you still have to be scared that somebody could make a big push. And just all they got to do is have it close one time at 99 cents.
How much money? How much money is it? Do you think that they would have to put in to short it?
It's getting to be more and more. And let's look right now because there is some trading volume going on here now. Or at least this morning there was a so 6.5 million shares traded today. So, that's
wow, that's good.
$7 million, whatever it is, $8 million. So, but that's for many. So let's see who's there. And this is a little bit out of date, but yeah, they don't really have any big investors. They have Invesco at 6%, and then it drops off a cliff from there. State Street and BlackRock are only just dipping their toe in the water.
So your name doesn't show up on this?
And no, confidentiality. Hey, I know that there's some of you guys have some pretty big Bitfarm positions out there.
Well, you could have got it for what? What was the low?
Got to 37.7 cents.
I thought it was getting in the 20s. I said 29. I was too greedy.
Jeff is saying I'm a no too. So Jeff does not think it's going to get its 10 days in a row. I'm a yes. I think this is the time. This third time's the charm. Isn't that what they say? So this is their third try. I think they will get there.
No, but how much money would it take to put it 10 million?
Not even. I mean,
there you go. So what's that to these guys? You know what I mean?
So right, but it depends on how many buyers are out there. Like they could put a lot of selling pressure on this, but
yeah,
are people now perceiving this to be the discount that I think it is at $288 million market cap? I mean,
how many coins are they producing?
They did 424, which put them in 4th place in the month of March. That was the month of March. And the last Hive just announced their March production I think it was this morning. So I can now update all my charts. I'll try and get those out tomorrow because now we have everybody's March reporting. I was waiting on Hive, and I was going to actually do a video like what's going on. I was starting to get suspicious that something was not quite right, but I will tell you they had good numbers in March.
Right.
So they did 282 Bitcoin. I'll probably do a video on their release, but I thought it was, particularly since I was literally going to do a video today that I may be a little worried because they haven't said anything because this is late for them. But I also did notice they switched firms that they do their press releases through. So, maybe it was just logistics that had them put this out a little bit late. But it was, the numbers came in just everything you would expect or want. They basically did in March. So that was a good report. And we'll round out. So now we can look at the top 10 again for March. And we're halfway through April already. And it's a pretty consistent list lately, but it is going to change. Before the end of the year, there's going to be a shakeup in the top 10 list. There's some other companies that are coming on strong. For instance, Cypher, which mined, very close to zero in September of 2022. They're gonna try and get themselves into the top 5 from a monthly production standpoint. TerraWolf is going to try to do the same thing. So there's going to be some movement. There's going to be some action. And then Hut's an absolute wild card. They have reduced the amount that they're mining drastically. But I'm assuming that's not their long-term plan. Ricky said I could see Bitfarms just skating by the 10 days around $1.05 to $1. Hey, $1.15. Listen, anything over $1, just get 10 days in a row over $1 and get that out. That's like a cloud that hangs over their head. Let's see. Jeff saying, Tom, isn't it amazing what a little change of verbiage can do? CleanSpark adjusted the language they used ever so slightly, and the price exploded. Coincidence? Maybe. I know they did. I think they definitely heard the. I mean, I know how much I heard about complaints about the dilution, so I can only imagine how much they heard about it. So they did tweak their language. And whether that was a part of the run-up, who knows? But definitely they coincided to a more friendly and, they saying the same thing, but just using a little friendlier, investor-friendly words. All right, what's our poll? What's the next poll? What were we just talking about?
I don't know. I still think ETH is going to go up faster than Bitcoin, by the way, just so everybody knows. I still want to be on record of saying that one. Percentage-wise.
Over the next, what are we talking?
90 days.
90 days.
Yeah, so May, June, July 17th. 0717. That's a good number, I remember.
We've tried this. This tends to be a Bitcoin-heavy crowd for obvious
don't
reasons.
do anything like that. Don't do that one. I'm just saying... I'm just going.
But you want to stay on record.
I want to stay on record of saying that.
You think ETH is gonna pump?
I called that at $2,000, just so everybody knows. And I'll even give you the down of where whatchamacallit is. I'm going to my show notes. Show notes.
So Ricky 2416 saying, does it start all over again if they reach the 10 days but go under right after? No. So the answer to that is it does not. You have to be under $1 for, and I'm not remembering the exact time frame, but you have to be under for quite a bit to get back into the penalty box, if you will. So if they get 10 days in a row over and then they're they go down to 90 cents, no problem. Once they get that 10-day reset, everything starts all over again. So that's why they got to get. This is their third time getting halfway there. It would be nice to get that cloud from hanging over their head. His Honor, what's the deal with reverse stock splits? Don't get me going. The reverse stock splits in the Bitcoin mining space, I would submit to you, if you look at what's gone on in the past, you would be shocked at the results. And in general, reverse stock splits tend to happen to companies. One of the reasons you do a reverse stock split, probably the main reason, is to get back in compliance with the NASDAQ, which means you're a company that's, doing extremely poorly in general. However, this bear market pulled a lot of companies down with it under $1 that, in my opinion, never had any business being there. So, the two companies that did a reverse stock split are, if you look at all the Bitcoin miners, and they are Hive and DigiHost, those two are both still performing better than the average Bitcoin miner. So despite the fact that they both did reverse stock splits. So in their instances, it really did not affect them. I know a lot of people that it felt like it affected it, but if you look at the numbers, if you do the math right now, they're still in the top half, both of them. And I think the reason for that is, so that's why I know I'm not too worried if some of these companies have to do, but I've been saying all along, even when everything was down in the 30 cents, 40 cents, 50 cents range, I said, I don't think any of these guys are going to have to do a reverse split. And I still think that right now. But even if they do, yes. But I will say, if you want to day trade or swing trade these splits, the reverse splits, do have a knee-jerk reaction that can be quite negative. So from a swing trade standpoint, it can be there can be some action there. ETH has never gained against Bitcoin at this point in the cycle. All right. So that's the rebuttal to you. ETH has never gained against Bitcoin at this point in the cycle.
I agree. You say ETH is a business, not a crypto. Agreed. You want to know why I like ETH so much? No one's even asked that question.
Why do you like ETH, George?
I think somebody, yes, of course I'm mad I sold my CleanSpark, because the powers that be have decided that they like ETH. I'm not saying I like the coin, or I even believe in the projects the coin is doing. I just feel that it's going to double before. It's going to go up more than Bitcoin in the next 90 days.
Do you think that the bigger money has predetermined that that's the next move, in your opinion?
Yeah, so I mean,
Bernoulli is saying if that does happen, that will be contrary to previous cycles.
Yeah, their high is, I couldn't believe their high is only 48 after the whatever they did.
Colton says,
I mean, I don't like ETH. I'm a Bitcoin believer in the project.
Jeff gave, that looks like the opposite of a smiley face for ETH. So I'm thinking Jeff, not a fan. Jeff is saying Ethereum is a business, not a crypto. Maybe you guys already talked about that. Am I behind again?
You're getting behind.
What's the matter with me?
Bye, Colton. My dogs keep barking.
The SEC is going to make them go public and the coin will poof. Is that a good thing?
I think that means disappear.
A bad thing.
Poof usually means disappear.
Yes.
My dogs are barking.
Jeff, are you disagreeing with yourself? Because then the next thing you said is I couldn't disagree more. Who are you disagreeing with? ETH is maybe funny. Andrew. ETH is deflationary, and now staking is going to soar. I would guess 30 to 35% will be staked. Before Shanghai, only 15% was staked. So Andrew, so there you go, George. You got somebody on your ETH team, Andrew, and then I think that's Jeff who's responding. I couldn't disagree more.
Well, I think I was in shock that it didn't go down.
I was too.
Shanghai. I'll be honest with you. I was in shock that we didn't see some type of pullback.
That seemed like a no-brainer, but
yeah.
But I guess that's
the reason I'm changing my opinion on it too, by the way.
That's the lesson in cryptocurrency. Whatever you think, we don't know. Oh, Jeff. Okay, Jeff is clarifying. I couldn't disagree more that ETH will outpace Bitcoin. That's insane, Jeff says to George. Bitcoin dominance is on a tear. Bitcoin dominance has been on a tear. So can it break through this next point? Because it's kind of up around where it maxes out.
And this is a good question. Do you think that the Bitcoin price is manipulated right now? Meaning, is it manipulated lower than it actually should be? That would be a good question. To answer that question, I say yes.
I think the price of Bitcoin, is that your question?
Yeah, that's my statement. My statement is I believe the Bitcoin price is manipulated, and I believe there's a consortium of people that determine what the price is going to be. And the only way we can and I don't even know if we can beat that, because when you have a exchange, they're not going and buying the coin off of the exchange. They're just they say, hey, we have that coin.
Jeff saying he
Manipulated
thinks,
down, yes.
yeah.
Right, I agree. So what I'm saying basically is the next 90, wow, these dogs smell. The next 90 days that I know, I agree with everybody saying. I'm just going out on a limb here and saying that in the next 90 days, I think that ETH is going to do better than Bitcoin. I'm not saying it's a better coin. I'm not saying it's a better project.
That's a short-term prediction.
Yeah,
that's
I'm just
that's the
making
way
this
you
little
feel
quick,
the wind is blowing right
yeah,
now. Because sometimes that's what it's about. Some of these things, you know, that's still, you can still hold the belief that ETH is going to tank.
Where's Shemaine? What's his name? Shaman?
Shaman.
Where's Sharman? I guess he's the guy from isn't he from Ireland?
Ireland.
He goes, where's George and his price predictions? Remember? He seems to always get it right, even though I sold freaking CleanSpark. Sorry. Go on, Tom. Tom, 94 likes. You know what? It's too bad you couldn't have like a like for you and a like for me. Mine would probably be 94 not likes. Yours would be 94 likes.
It's the opposite has happened. YouTube, everybody on YouTube's such a baby now. They don't even tell you how many dislikes you have.
They don't even tell you anymore?
No. I get to see, or you know, the content creator gets to see behind the scenes. But
can you see right now how many dislikes you have?
On the live stream, I don't know how to do that, but on the videos, I can look and see, you know, likes to dislikes. But now, you guys all remember, it used to be like there were some videos that would get destroyed, and it would be like, you know, 80% dislike, and now they don't. I don't know if there's a mechanism to turn that back on or something. If there is, I'm not aware of it, and they don't show it anymore. But I will tell you, I shouldn't even say it because now I'm practically begging people to dislike. We're usually between 98 and 99.5% likes to dislikes.
Let's see.
This too shall pass. None. You have 0. All right. This too shall pass. If you're right, that's good. That's a good thing. Yeah, we do have, and we.
Well, I'm gonna dislike it right now and see what happens.
See what happens.
You know what happens, Tom? You probably, if we dislike it, it'll go up. Do me a favor and dislike the video. We'll have 1,000 viewers.
That could be maybe more controversy.
Thanks, Jeff. Love you too, brother. Yeah, I'm still entrepreneur. I'm not really. I mean, I don't know. Am I really an entrepreneur? I don't know.
Yeah. Yes. What else would you call yourself?
How close are we to a live stream tomorrow? Question mark. The answer is we got phone book.
Phone book's on. We have got 1 new member so far on the live stream. So usually our rule is if we get the equivalence of 3 new members, whether through super chats or people actually joining. And somebody joined before the live stream even started, so I did give them a shout out. However, I did have my microphone off, so I think I gave them another shout out, but let's welcome, I'm scrolling back, welcome Mono SK to the Talking Investing Squad. Thank you for joining.
So that's my question about Sue, about HUD 8. Sorry, I got lost there for a second.
Got tongue-tied?
Yeah, something was tied. The table started rocking a little bit. Is this going to be another freaking HUD?
What can be another HUD?
The whole merger, like it's not really going to happen, but we're just going to say it would. And
well, they got to get it passed. They want it. This too shall pass. Said you guys rock. Thank you very much. Thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, that would be fun if we could have a like or dislike button, one for me and one for you. That would be fascinating.
You are welcome, Miguel. I'm finally in the green. After 2 years, I'm in the red trying to get in the green. I got you. I understand.
So Steve
You're
Eckford
welcome.
has given an update on Hut
I'm going to
8.
type in, I'm going to Twitter, and I'm going to see if there's any information about HUD 8 at all in the thing. Which there isn't, but I'll do it anyways.
So I'm going to have to ask.
All right, welcome to Talking Investing.
Phonebookson just left a message. He has been a member for 7 months and counting. So thank you, Phonebookson, for being a member and for your contributions. So I guess it's a one-time thing. Jeff's asking for the people that he bought memberships for. So you can also gift a membership. And it gives a membership to somebody at random. But then I guess it's on, if they want to continue to be members, they need to do so themselves. So and Phonebookson just gifted 1 membership. Let's see. Scott was gifted a membership by Phonebookson. Welcome. So Scott, welcome. There's a bunch of videos there ready and waiting for you that you can check out that we've done in the past, and you can join us tomorrow on the live stream for members only, which is after the market closes. Miner Doc, who thinks Bitcoin peaks on May 17th at the Bitcoin conference in Miami?
Yeah.
Is that going to be, is that what's happening?
Yeah, absolutely. Remember I told you guys that there was a reason why they pushed off the conference.
You did talk about that.
I've been saying this for months now.
I bet it was 5 months ago you said that. Phonebookson said one left for a live stream tomorrow. This dude.
Yeah, nothing about merger. There's nothing. They told us February 27th. March 27th. So April 27th will be 60 days. We won't have anything new regarding HUD 8 and the merger.
I noticed, what is their name? Validus, that they are having a dispute with, their energy dispute that HUD 8 is having. Those guys, one of those guys is on a panel at the Bitcoin conference in Miami. I think their CEO.
Oh, really?
So they're there. I don't know what the heck they're doing there because apparently they're turned off the power to all the Bitcoin miners, but maybe they want to go.
Who believes in the FTX coin that's going to come back June 1st? Does anybody think that would be a good? I mean, I know we talk about Bitcoin all the time, but is that one going to go up or is that one going to go down?
It's one that I would not touch, even though it's one of those that could catch fire.
Lebanon, I know. Kevin K, this is a good one. Having moved to South Africa and living in other countries like Lebanon where they've lost 90% of their currency value, Bitcoin is the wave of the future. It's the way of the future.
And that's a great comment because I will say... Oh, hold for George. In the meantime, Sai, thank you. Sai said, one of the best decisions I made is to sign up for membership. Learned so much from your videos. Thanks for that. I appreciate that. I'm glad the videos were helpful, and thanks to all the members because you guys are, it takes all of us for it to be a good group. So that's I appreciate the comment and much appreciated to all the members. Jeff is saying short the FTX coin. I'm not going long the FTX coin. I'm not shorting the FTX coin. I'm not shorting any cryptocurrency on leverage. I won't even go long cryptocurrency. See, my way to play cryptocurrency on leverage is what we talk about on the channel all the time, which is to buy the Bitcoin miners. So they, in the past, up through until including today, they have been a leverage play on Bitcoin, both on the way up and the way down. So I think that's going to continue. There's no guarantee that that's going to continue, but that has been the trend all along, so I do think that will continue. Tariq says, hey guys from Dubai, welcome. Welcome to Dubai. Yeah, drop in the chat. Anybody else, if you're, we're in the U.S. here. I know we have a lot of people from Canada. So let us know where you're from. Say hello from and what time it is there. Jeff saying, Tom, you must own at least one Bitcoin. Please, I beg you. I do. I think ultimately, and I guess I better do this sooner than later, I want to buy 2 Bitcoin. I might end up buying more than that over time. I really, my goal was, and with this bear market, it didn't get there. I wanted to buy Bitcoin with the profits from my Bitcoin miners, but I think I'm just going to have to buy Bitcoin, with other money is the reality at this pace. Oh, yes. Thank you, Edmund. Mawson had a 1-to-6 reverse stock split. So that's 3 that have. Stephen English is in England, and it's 10:30 p.m. there. So it's 5:30 where I am. I'm on the East Coast in the U.S. We're in Florida. So you guys are 5 hours ahead of us. Jeff said, I have 11, and I don't think that's enough. I mean, I hear you. I think, in the end, people are not going to regret the Bitcoin that they bought unless they panic and, buy high and sell low. But if from a buy and hold standpoint, I do think that is going to be a massive investment in the short term in this cycle. I think the Bitcoin miners, we're at the bottom end. We just got the leveraged play down on the Bitcoin miners. So that's kind of my thought process is I'm not going to take my money out of Bitcoin miners and put it into Bitcoin. So that means I'm going to have to buy Bitcoin and be even more of my portfolio, my total portfolio, invested in Bitcoin, either directly or indirectly. Because I'm not going to take the leveraged ride all the way down on these guys and not take it back up. Poohbrain said, Tom, Bitfarm continues to underperform. So, but I will say, yes, a little bit, but they're up, I think, 170% on the year. So, they're not having a bad year. And the most important thing right now is they get this 10 days in a row over $1. I do think that for as long as they're in that neighborhood, and for as long as that 10-day streak hasn't been reached, there's still a big battle between the bears and the bulls on Bitfarms. And, if we could just get to 10 days, the bears are pretty much going to have to give up because that'll be the end of that. And then I think Bitfarms will go to $1.50, and then we'll see where it runs from there. That's my personal opinion. If Bitfarms hits $1.50, I will get out of my options that I have. I have call options in May and in August, so those are short-term. The May ones were not short-term when I bought them, but they are now. So I'm looking for Bitfarms to get to $1.50, and then I'll get out of all those, and that will be my method of taking profits. So if that works out, then I will get to take a bunch of profits. If it doesn't, then, well, you never know. Let's see. Jeff, 11 should be enough. More is better, though. That is from Brent. Oh, Sai is saying, sorry for a dumb question. What happens after 10 days? So right now, after a certain period of time, if a stock listed on the NASDAQ is under $1, they are out of compliance with the rules, and they're subject to being delisted. Now, it is a very long process before you get delisted. So, it's not imminent, but for as long as you're out of compliance, it's a big drag on the stock. And the way to get back into compliance is you can't just get back over $1. You have to close over $1 for 10 consecutive days. So once you do that, you are no longer out of compliance and it's a full reset. So even if you dip back under the very next day, it doesn't matter. You're back in compliance and you're okay. So, that to me, that will be a little bit of a, for now, and this is the third time that they've gotten 5 days in a row over $1. So the last 2 times the Bears got them back under $1 and, they won that trade. So I'm saying third time's the charm. We're getting to 10 days this time and putting that in the rearview mirror. So Stephen Andrews' real estate videography is in Florida, but you're in Pensacola. So that is the part of Florida that's actually in a different time zone than the rest of Florida. So you are an hour earlier than we are here. Sai said, thanks for the info. You're welcome. Absolutely. Saeed said, what is your target for Cleanspark? Jeff said, $1,000 a share. Jeff, is that real or are you just saying that? Let's see. Possibly Saeed said, possibly in 2028, I could see that. Yeah, I mean, I don't have $1,000 price target on. You guys are talking about Cleanspark, right? But I do have, listen, 1,000 it's at $4 right now. So that's a long way. But you know what? I'm looking, my next stop that I'm looking for is, to me, anything under 6 is all nonsense. So I'm looking for it to just get back to 6. And then I do think it can double this year to 12. And I think it can get back above its all-time high sooner. Well, it's Bitcoin all-time high, which I'm using November. I think it was around $23. I think it can get back over that in the next year, in my opinion. So, I think there's a lot of upside left in Cleanspark. That's my personal opinion. That's why it's one of my top 3 positions. So, you guys do you. Tariq said, Tariq, sorry if I'm mispronouncing. You guys became international in Dubai. It's 1:30 a.m., so it's tomorrow. All right. You can tell us what's happening tomorrow, and then we'll know. So GRI and any are out of compliance for the NASDAQ. I didn't know that was a thing. And I'm not worried about, I think probably some people are still worried about any down at 42 cents. And that does look very disturbing. But I will tell you, there are 3 or 4 or 5 Bitcoin miners that were down under 40 cents that are now way over $1. And this has all happened in the last 90 days. So I still think the rest of them will get back over $1. Now, that is not a certainty. The one that I won't say that about is DMG. They're at 23 cents, and I'm not sure, they may have to do a reverse split. They're very small market cap, but any, I think, is going to make their way there, believe it or not. And where's GRI at? They're at 65 cents, and I think, even though I do think they're going to make their way over $1, I personally, so this is just my personal opinion, so, leave your angry comments, if you will. I don't have a good feeling about GRI. So when I look at their financials and I look at their monthly report updates, and they're not even doing monthly updates anymore. They're just periodically updating. And when I look at what their business formula is, they may make it, and they may one day get back and start doing what they wanted to do, but they seem very, very off course to me. That's a company that is a company I have no conviction in. So, you know, for whatever that's worth, that is one that's under a dollar. That I think they'll even get back over a dollar, but I guess it wouldn't surprise me if they don't. I don't like what's going on at GRI. And, you know, hopefully everybody, you know, GRI's down 99.9% right now. So a lot of people already lost an awful lot of money in that. But you don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. That's one of my least conviction Bitcoin miners. And Argo blockchain also. Sorry for anybody who's in Argo. For me, I have no conviction in Argo blockchain. So those probably are my bottom two. I'll just leave it at 2 for now. But yeah. I see George. He may be on the way back. Let's see. Jeff's asking, what do you think is more likely, that a major energy company buys a miner, or does the Bitcoin miner get so big that they buy bigger energy producer? I think that some of these energy companies might gobble up some of these still nano cap or micro cap companies. I do not think that it is the fate of Riot and Marathon and CleanSpark that they're going to be bought up by the electric companies. I think, if anything, I think I would lean the other way on that. But I do see some of the small ones, you know, coming into, or maybe after the halving. Jeff said, LOL, I think on the $1,000 price target for CleanSpark. So that was a... So MinerDoc is saying CleanSpark $60 to $100 in 2025, and I think that's totally reasonable. So that would not surprise me at all. I might even go so far as to say I would be disappointed if they weren't over 60 by the end of 2025. So that's my personal expectation. I'm very bullish on CleanSpark. This too shall pass. Virtual confetti, amazing content. Thank you. Thank you. Thanks for joining us and being with us on the stream. What do you think of Hut 8? $3 coming, you think? I feel like Hut 8 has to get to... They've got to get past this. They are in the middle of deciding, you know, they have a quote-unquote merger of equals, and, you know, both boards have to vote on that. Not the boards, the actual shareholders have to vote and see if that goes through. And then we need to see what that company looks like. So I feel like they are going to go sideways from a stock standpoint for a little while. I still see a picture. I wish they would tell us more about it. I still see a picture of those two companies put together being very successful. But I feel like we're not getting anything. And I don't know that we are going to get any more information until after that is voted on. I imagine that is going to pass.
What's going to pass?
The Hut merger.
Thing in Texas?
I imagine that's going to pass too, unfortunately.
Well, I saw Texas and I was like, the Hut merger. Well, they said that it's crazy to think that February 27th is only when they told us. I guess we really do pay a lot of attention to the freaking miners, huh? Bitcoin miners.
Most
so
definitely.
that will be a vote will be within 90 days, so that's pretty good.
Right, and I haven't, you know, they did get up over $2, so they've rallied. Let's just go to their chart real quick.
I want to hear your comment on any. I don't know. Did you talk about that?
No. Did somebody just ask any question?
Yeah, a couple times. I think somebody was in at like $3.50 and wondering if he should cost average in or.
So even from, you know, March 10th, which was the low for most of these guys, Hut's up a solid 64%, and they were higher. So they're performing. This is fairly average performance inside of the Bitcoin mining group. So, even though they're very quiet and I'm a little less confident than I used to be, it's not really hurting the price of their stock so far. But I don't think they can take that next leg up until this merger happens, if it's going to happen. So, if you believe it's going to happen and you believe it's a good thing, now might be a good time as it's sitting here going sideways and consolidating. What's happening?
No, just reading the comments.
Wow, how do I fall this far behind so fast all the time?
I don't know. George, do you have a re-entry plan on CleanSpark? Yes. I sold at 325, so I'm thinking I'll get in if it gets below like 350, 360. So the guys, that's probably wouldn't be when you get out, because then the price is gonna go down.
So you're gonna hope for a pullback on CleanSpark.
I'm feeling it cold. I'm hoping a pullback happens here for like the next end of this week into next week. May 3rd is the next moon cycle.
All right. You heard it here.
Hang on, moon cycle. Moon cycle.
Saeed is saying if Bitcoin was 100K, what's CleanSpark then? Yeah, I mean, CleanSpark should certainly be well past its previous all-time high, which was that I'm counting their $23, I think. Let me go to that chart so I get the right number.
Full moon is on May 5th, the flower moon. Everybody likes the flower moon.
So what does that does this mean for
So the
us?
next new moon is April 20th.
So
I'm not even talking about the moon because you picked on me and freaking
I did?
Yeah, April 1st, remember? Hang on, remember? We have something happening in Bitcoin pricing. I just noticed this. Sure.
Oh, I was not picking.
Yes, you were. You totally. Ha, got you, George. You might as well said that at the end.
Not true. Not true. I thought I saw a trend on April 1st, and it didn't work out that way. But
just stop with the moon BS. You're totally discrediting the channel. I'm sorry, Todd. I'm an idiot. I know I'm an idiot, though, Todd. Listen, don't take any of my advice. I encourage you to do your own financial research and listen to the creddy out here. The creddy. It's on the street.
So CleanSpark, back here, they weren't really even a Bitcoin miner, and certainly way back here, they hadn't even thought of the word Bitcoin yet. So, this is their Bitcoin all-time high, and it's around $23.60. So they are so many magnitudes larger right now than they were then, that if Bitcoin was to get to 100,000, yeah, I could see them at $40 or $50 or $60. It's hard to say. We'll see. If they're executing their plan as they said they were, we'll see how much dilution that takes. The more their stock price goes up, the better for them, obviously, because we know they are going to issue more shares of stock. So if they can do that at $7 instead of $2.50, that's a game changer for them.
I just found out. Wait a second. Cinco de Mayo and a full moon same day.
Oh, that's got to mean something.
That's got to mean something, guys. Sorry, I'm going to get you going, Todd. Todd, do you know a Tim Sweeney? That's the inventor of Epic Games. In case you didn't know that.
Let's see, George. Also, do you have a plan? Oh, so all right. So George, you answered this line of questioning.
I don't know there is hope for me. I agree. There's very little hope.
There's always hope.
You know what is interesting? I think there's more killings on a full moon than any other day of the month. Did you know that?
I did not know that. I cannot verify that
No,
fact.
it's something to do with there's a gravity pull on the Earth and blah 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 and blah blah blah. Do I think? I actually think. I mean, let's put it this way. I haven't figured it out yet, so I'm not saying if buy, sell, or what to do based on the moon. But I do think that there is some activities there that show some correlation.
Well, the
But
one
I'm not saying I understand it by any stretch of imagination.
also people should realize when you're finding correlation with anything, and this goes whether you're looking at the Fibonacci numbers or whatever indicator you're looking at, and the moon cycle is no different. Sometimes, I don't think I think the Fibonacci numbers work so often because everybody uses them. So, it's a cause and effect. It's a chicken and the egg. So, if there's a group of people using the lunar cycle, then, that is going to move.
Look at what Todd just said. He just the quality of fishing are better based on the moon. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah,
I heard this
either.
one. This is a weird one. Did you know flowers open because birds sing, not because the sun comes up? I did not know that.
I can't verify this.
That one,
either.
this is true. This is true. I didn't
All
know
right.
that one either. I thought that was the most craziest thing I've ever heard.
Todd is saying buying stock has nothing to do with the moon.
Kevin, what I don't know if you were here earlier. I was saying that I wanted to sell everything and go into cryptocurrency. I didn't mean all Bitcoin, but a whole bunch of different cryptocurrencies. Like have a high risk, like so much money is going to be high risk, so much is going to be like no risk. Like I don't think there's a lot of risk in Bitcoin. I think we all can agree in 5 years, Bitcoin's going to be in a very healthy place and it should be in 6 figures. I don't think there's anybody on the channel right now that doesn't believe that Bitcoin will be 6 figures in 5 years. Do you guys?
I would think there would be more people on the channel that believe that 5 years from now it'll be 7 figures than believe it'll be 5 figures.
There it is, Steven. I'm sorry, Steven. I own 3,000 shares of any at $3.45. Would you buy another 2,000 at this lower price?
Well,
Not financial advice, but
my answer to that is I will let history speak for itself. I dollar cost averaged into, I just started my any position a couple of weeks ago, and I dollar cost averaged in again last week. So for me, it's a new position. So if you've lost your confidence in it, you got to know the company. So this is what I always tell everybody. Like, it does no good if I know the company. You got to know, and it doesn't mean you have to be an expert on the company, but you got to have a sense of what's their plan, what are they doing, and then, measure their performance against their plan. And if you feel like they're moving in the right direction, I like what Eni is doing. They're a totally different company than they were a year ago. A year ago, unfortunately, they were the punchline of a joke. And they kind of earned that, in my opinion. So it is what it is. They're a different company now, though. Different company, different CEO, totally different plan. And I like it. So, that's just my opinion.
well, and I will tell you that I did speak. I can't remember her name, but I did speak to the CEO of Eni because I wanted to rub it in her face with the whole thing with the miner. That stupid.
Yeah, but that was not her decision.
No, I know.
She
but
walked into a situation that was a great big mess, and I'm surprised to the extent they've been able to clean up that mess. Their balance sheet's actually decent. And that's one of the things for me that I always look at because we don't know where cryptocurrency is going. So, if you have a problem on the balance sheet, as a Bitcoin miner, we just saw in this crypto winter, it will get exposed and it will turn your business inside out.
well, and this tune shall pass. He says I sometimes get nervous or uncertain. Well, I guess you don't know. I sold freaking Cleanspark right before the biggest run. So
Live on the stream.
of the year. Yeah.
Missed it by 1 day. George sold it after you sold it after hours live on the stream, and it took
No,
off
it
the
was
next day.
it was not after hours.
Oh, it
It
wasn't
was
after hours
during
that day. It was the middle
your
of the day.
11:30 stream. Yep.
Ah, all right. So during regular hours, and this too shall pass. You know what? Guess what? Everybody gets nervous.
But
And
here's the thing, and I should have told everybody this. I have financial goals that I've actually just met, and that was part of the reason why I sold it. So like obviously I don't have all my money in investing in stocks, and I actually have a small percentage of my money invested in stocks.
yeah, this is by no means the main thing
No.
you do. It's
Does that make
probably
sense?
the
And
least
that's
of what you do.
But what I'm thinking though is I'm thinking about changing and moving all my money off of cash and into like crypto and different things that, have a potential of an upside. Because I mean, I think cash is going to be hurting here for a little bit.
Well, I'm gonna go to the DXY because if we can just get this thing down, I don't want to be on the 1 month. I want to be on the 1 day. If we can get this down back to where it was, you can see like this was out. This run up right here in the dollar, this started basically in January of 2022. So, here's the perfect example. 2022, as we know, was a nightmare disaster in the stock market. Well, look at what it was for the dollar. These have an inverse correlation, and it's not a coincidence. So the dollar being this strong was horrendous for the stock market, for Bitcoin, for altcoins. And now we're starting to get to more reasonable levels. Now, if I zoom in, you'll see the last 2 days we've been moving back up, which is no good. I'd like to stay under this line at 103. And really, I mean, we could make a run down. Several times we've been down under 90 here in January of 2021. We were under 90 in January of 2018. So there's lots of room there's lots of room to the downside for the dollar. Everybody's worried the dollar is going to be worthless. Right now, its value is so high, it's hurting the stock market. So, I think we all wouldn't mind a pullback. Now, we don't want it to collapse, obviously. That's no good really for any country. Jeff saying, is the DXY on a double bottom? That is the question. So I think not, but I mean, looking at the chart, only time is going to tell. I feel like there is downward pressure on the dollar, and it has been very high for a while now. So I'm hoping that moves in the right direction. But you're right. We'll see. This could be. I mean, it's setting up for a double bottom, and they could run back up to 115. Which would be awful. So we don't want, I can just tell you right now, if that happens, it's not good news for Bitcoin or the Bitcoin miners at all. Christian said, don't feel bad. I sold Riot before its last pump. I mean, this is what happens.
It does. I mean, but I achieved my overall strategy, which is making money. So I didn't sell it at a loss.
Right, you sold it at a profit. You took your profits, and they would have been more profits. Yep. So listen, I'm looking back.
A lot more profits.
Yes. Every single person listening right now has their story of a stock. I'm guessing that they held at one point that I know I do. I have a long list where I said, you know what, if I would have just done nothing and just held these 4 stocks, I'd be ahead of where I am right now. And I wouldn't have had to spend a second for the last 20 years. But hindsight's 20/20. So
didn't you own did you own Amazon?
My big thing that I got completely out of because it took a big run. I got out of Apple in 2008. And it's one of the biggest gains I ever took. And it's the worst trade I've ever made. So that's the way it is. You know what I mean?
Right.
So who knew? I still don't understand how Apple does what they do. But, you know, so I can either look at that as, you know what, I caught a big run up on that, or I can say, you know what, if I'd have just done nothing, just left it all in. There was 3 or 4 stocks like that just, yeah. McDonald's. Some of these are Dow stocks that have gone ballistic in the last 15 years. You know, blue chip type stocks that went from, you know, $25 to $250. Those type of moves.
Yeah, I did make a couple of pennies. Yes, Jeff, that's the lesson. Don't sell undervalued companies. No, I think the lesson is don't buy into a company that's going to be dollar cost averaging in and stealing your money. That's the lesson.
You're going to work. You're going to have to you're going to have to talk to Zach or Matt over at CleanSpark.
I know they're not going to like me.
No. But maybe if you have a conversation with them directly, you'll feel better about it. Darren said, George, you should peer into the members-only Discord and you'll get someone's idea of making money. George, you made a couple pennies.
Hey, I'm just glad I'm still in the game. You know what I mean? I'll be honest with you. I was ready to be out of the game.
Well, so were awful lot of people, and a lot of people did leave and haven't come back yet. So there's still that. We have not even begun the process of FOMO, right? We did just pull a double on Bitcoin, but I'm telling you this, none of that was FOMO. That hasn't even started. So at some point, that's what I'm waiting for. And are we going to get pummeled in the middle potentially? You know, who knows? Sandy's Eclipse, 30,000 shares of any now, average at 38 cents. Happy to keep loading under 50 cents till 100,000 shares. So, yeah, I mean, that's a plan. That's a plan right there. So, Sandy's Eclipse knows exactly what they want to do, and they're in the middle of doing it. And if the opportunity presents, they know what they consider a full position, 100,000 shares. So that's exactly the type of stuff. So you're doing just the way I do it. So, and you know, the way a lot of people do it. That's you should have a plan, whatever your plan is. Jeff said I was in ENPH under $2 and sold at 60. Well, has it run up? Because that sounds like a really good trade.
Yeah, investing is hard. I don't care what anybody says.
Oh, sorry, Jeff.
Investing is like... That's why I've never really done it until last year or the year before.
But see, this example with Jeff, I mean, you bought in at 2 and you sold at 60. You cannot kick yourself for that. You can't. Yeah, now it's gone from 60 to $225.
Has
but,
it really?
but you caught a 30x on it, Jeff. I mean, you know what I mean? If you're catching 5x's and 10x's and 20x's, and that was your exit point, and that was your plan, and that's what you did, I feel like you have to count that as a win. You had a strategy. You made a ton of money on it. And, yeah, you know, now you know that you could have even made a bunch more. Just like when I look back at Apple. I mean, if you would have told somebody in 2008 that Apple was going to be a $3 trillion company, you know, within 15 years, that was crazy talk. But that's what happened. So, you know, I had my plan. I got out. I made my money. Like I said, it was the most money I ever made on a trade. But still, you know, if you look at it the other way, it's the worst trade I've ever done.
I'm gonna sneak out.
All right, George, thanks so much
See you
for
guys.
joining us.
Great talking to everybody. We'll see you, I guess, tomorrow, right?
We'll see members only stream tomorrow after the market closes, so we will see you guys then. So good night, George.
Night, everyone.
All right, that's it for George. I'm going to wrap it up in a little bit myself. I don't know how you guys are doing. I had a lot of travel over the weekend. I got home in the middle of the night last night, which was not fun. But I'm back. I got nothing else planned, until the Bitcoin conference. So I'm going to try and double down and catch up on a lot of videos, both for my regular weekly videos and some of the member videos. So I'm going to try and work a little overtime this week and catch up. So hopefully you guys will enjoy that. And thank you for the views. Last week was the least videos I've ever made in a week, but like I said, I've had personal stuff that's gotten me going in different directions. But I'm back on track, so I'm ready to, because I got a lot of videos I want to make. Sometimes it's hard to, you can't get. And then enough days pass where even if it's a video you really, really wanted to make, nobody cares about it anymore. So, it just is what it is. That's why I like the live streams, because we can hit a bunch of current, ultra current topics, right as they're happening versus, me getting a video out on it 3 days later when nobody cares. Darren said, Sandy's Eclipse, I'm at 23,500. Any? Adding in 500 blocks till 50K or until it pops. Nice. See, yeah, that's. And you guys know I just started buying into any, and I like any. So we'll see. Thank you. This too shall pass. Thank you, Jeff. Jay is saying, I sold all my Bitfarms in December, lost over 100K on that trade. Ouch. So the only question I would ask is, did you get it? Did you get the money and move it into some other Bitcoin miners, or did you take it out of the space altogether? Because sometimes if you lose confidence in one miner, but you're starting to like another one, that can be hit or miss too. You don't want to chase after the ones that are running, but if you left it in the space and the money still did well, it still stinks to lose 100K on Bitfarms. That's no fun. I know that's the one I've lost the most money on still right now. I am positive on a couple of my larger positions, but not Bitfarms, not even close. All right, so I'm going to leave it at that for today. So I did no videos this weekend, so I'm going to try and get to work and do some videos tonight. And so you guys, for those of you who are members, and I see a bunch of you, appreciate it. Thanks for being members. And there will be a members-only live stream tomorrow. So no regular live, no full live stream tomorrow, but members-only live stream after the market closes tomorrow. Look forward to seeing everybody there. And I definitely will get some members out for some videos out for everybody tomorrow. So much appreciated. Let's just take a final before I sign off. Let's see. So we're pretty sideways. We're at 29,500. So can we get back over 30 and make a run again? We'll see what happens tonight. So, all right. Thank you, everybody. Have a fantastic night. Thanks for tuning in.